You know, so much has happened over the last couple of weeks. One of them was the New York Comic Con came and went with a whimper. Like, there were a couple of awesome moments, apparently, like Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd getting back together on stage. That just blew my mind, like, when I watched the video of that. But one video I watched, and it was later confirmed by one of the people in the groups I'm in, that the old Marvel Legends team, the faces of Marvel Legends, were there showing off the spirit of vengeance, brother. Oh yeah, oh yeah. They were showing it off and out there shaking hands and glad handing, campaigning to try to get people to want to jump on board and back this HasLab project. And did it make a dent after New York Comic Con ended? Did it make a dent? Survey says this like, once again, this debacle was hilarious to me, because them boys out there glad handing, they're out there kissing ass right now, trying to recoup and recover from the whooping they've been getting by everybody, including yours truly. And I gotta say, like, you know, I'm on board with sucker punching and swinging without warning. I'm always down for a Mary Joy stomp. I'm always down for that action. So I'm just wondering, what are they going to pull out of their ass? But let's be honest here. This has all been a long time coming. This has been building up for a long time. And I just wanted to point out a few things that led up to this whole debacle of Hasbro with their stock price going down, them having to lay people off, and all this other stuff that I talked about in my last video. Shamelessly plug it, but I'll tag it up there, and you can take a look at it. But yeah, this has been a long time coming. So I want to just address a couple of things that I think led to this whole outrage happening. Number one, and I think this was the most prevalent thing that everyone can point to: the lack of availability of the figures. We went through the pandemic, we went through the post-pandemic phase, which we're currently in. We're kind of like, we're getting out of the forest here. Some people think we're out of the forest, some people think we're still way deep in the forest. I happen to be on the out of the forest crowd. But there, you know, we're at a point where there should be product everywhere. They should be filling shelves all around. There's no excuse, because the entire time during the pandemic, I couldn't find Transformers. People couldn't find Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe. Oh, forget about G.I. Joe. People couldn't find anything, Star Wars, anything. But here's what you could find. You could find Barbies. You could find DC Multiverse. You could find a bunch of different stuff if you were down to look for it. I mean, shit, I remember they had Toy Story stuff on the shelves, like, in bulk. Like, my kids were in heaven. They bought a bunch of Toy Story figures. Like, yo, there was stuff everywhere. And for them, but Hasbro was like, their distribution was all jacked up. And I was just like, that is to me, that was the beginning of the end. That was the thing that sparked what we're seeing now. Secondly, was the prices going up. And now we're starting, as we're getting into the sort of the weeds of what's going on at Hasbro. We're starting to see that them raising prices was just to basically circumvent all the expenses, because I'm sure they were taking a bunch of L's with all that inventory just sitting in the middle of the ocean, or sitting in docks in China. You know what I'm saying? Like, they took a lot of L's on those. So they just kept raising prices. It's like, your shit ain't that rare. Like, this ain't some expensive, like, freaking Mezco figure. This ain't some expensive Mafex figure. This ain't an expensive masterpiece Transformer. This dog, this is like this Marvel Legends. Why are Marvel Legends going from, like, I remember in 2020-ish, I was seeing Marvel Legends out on the shelves for like $17, man. Like, now they're $25. You think people aren't going to notice that? You think you can just slip one by the goalie and think we're not going to notice that? Yeah, people notice. Then you add on the windowless boxes. Like, that was my personal favorite. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a Transformers collector, so I'm used to windowless boxes. You know, there's certain class of figures, if you buy them, you were getting a windowless figure. You got windowless Commander class figures, windowless Titan class figures. They just didn't have big windows on them. If you buy Masterpiece figures, they're windowless. If you buy third-party figures, they're windowless. So I'm used to not having windows on my boxes, on my figures. Marvel Legends fans, not having it. And the worst part is that literally what started out as a meme online about people fig swapping, that shit came with a vengeance. Yo, that shit came with a vengeance. Yo, I've never seen, Marvel Legends collectors, woo, man, yo, your scummy scumbags are ruthless, man. Yo, them dudes are ruthless. I was like, damn, yo, ruthless ass scumbags. Cause like they were just grabbing anything, old figures they had that they wanted to upgrade. They were grabbing wrestling figures. They were just straight up taking them out at the store. Like, yo, these dudes are ruthless, man. Oh my God. And then, like, as expected, with the closed off box shit, it started to slowly seep its way into other lines. So it started to seep its way into Transformers, because, you know, you get all these stories about people thinking they're buying like a Commander class or a Leader class or a Titan class, and they open it up and there's like mayonnaise in there and shit. Yo, it's not, I don't mean to laugh, but that shit's fucking hilarious. It's like, yo, you get mayonnaise? Like, yo, they fucking, like, that's scummy. That's scummy. Like, they're so bold. They're just going for anything that's closed box now. Like, yo, Marvel Legends collectors, let me know what is up with the scumbags hiding in the shadows in the community, man, hiding in the gutters. What is up with these dudes? Like, yo, people were buying like freaking Leader class. I think it was like, I saw a picture once, somebody who had Leader class Galvatron, and my man opened it up and it was like mustard or some shit in there. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? I think he like I don't know, maybe he put a note in there or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, like I'm used to windowless packaging, but I was like, damn, that shit sure as hell seeped over to every other community. So G.I. Joe's going windowless. Bet you that's gonna happen to G.I. Joe. Transformers, we already know what's happening there. Marvel Legends is where it started. Any other company that decides to go windowless to quote unquote save the environment from plastic, from discarded plastic, meanwhile the figures are plastic and you just throw out the figure and that's just as much plastic, actually more plastic than what the plastic you would have been displaying them with on the pegs. Man, oh man. But yeah, this is just becoming a debacle, and it's so much a debacle. I was saying in one of my other videos, I'll throw that tag up too. At PulseCon, all of the Marvel Legends that were revealed were in retro boxes, retro packaging with the clear plastic, and you can see what's inside the box. That I think that's a lie of omission, if you will. It's like they know they effed up and they're trying to just say, oh well, you know, we're just going with this because it looks cool or some nonsense like that. We all know they effed up. But yeah. And then final thing, the QC. Like the QC issues have been biblical. Oh my God. This is another reason why it should have been another sign that Hasbro was in trouble, because they were cutting corners everywhere. They cut corners everywhere, from the packaging to the plastics. Like Transformers are turning yellow and shit. Like all this stuff, all these different things happening. And that was the canary in the coal mine, because they were in trouble. I don't know if they overextended themselves. I don't know what they've done, but they're in a shitty situation. And it shows, because the QC is just off the hook. They don't even care anymore. They're just trying to sell you figures at exorbitant prices. And you mean to tell me some dude can't take a peek? Some woman in China can't take a peek and see if the eyes are painted, or if the paint on the legs are painted, or that the figure has like arms, or the figure is like has a head. Like, you mean tell me they can't take a peek before they seal it? They can't take a peek. Come on, man. Somebody can't take a peek at the batch and be like, yo, we need to run this motherfucker through again. But they're not doing that. They are just sending it out because they are in trouble. And this is how much they've effed up. And this is how much they've effed up. And once again, there's a reason why this year I've purchased more third-party Transformer figures than at any time in my collecting life. I've never collected this many before, but I'm collecting them. Want to know why? Because I get what I want. Two, usually the quality control is pretty spot on. And if not, I don't have to go through the rigmarole of all these different things. What are they doing? They're trying to survive. They're a company bleeding. They're hemorrhaging. That's why these HasLabs take so damn long to come out, because they're sitting on your money for 8 months. They're sitting on your money, accruing interest and trying to pay back whatever debts they have, because that's the only reason to explain why it takes so damn long for these HasLabs to come out. It's just that they're sitting there investing your money and accruing interest. I've been saying that for the longest time. Many people have been saying that for the longest time. It's the only reason to explain why they just don't go immediately into production, because they go into production, that's a loss. If they hold your money, then they can accrue, and they invest it for themselves, they can accrue interest, and then after 8 months or whatever, when they make their money, then they throw it into production. So then they're actually losing money on instead of the upfront money that we've already given them. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I missed anything. Let me know if I'm way off. Let me know if you think I'm right, I'm spot on. You tell me. This is your turn. Get up in them comments, man. Let's hit that like button. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Please feel free to do it. I'm here for it. I'm here for the comments. I'm here for the conversation. With that, be safe, be good, and it's the Drunken Prime cracking open another beer and signing off.